Today we continue with our class Hilchot Teshuvah. Today's class number 30. And we start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim. Okay? And big topic is the same. Called Hilchos. And today's topic is Sensitivities. To cause the outright animosity between the Jews, it's to speak the Hilchos. Okay. To affect the minor degree of ill feeling between the Jews is to speak avak Hilchos. So meaning what other person said about that person, avak Hilchos. So avak Hilchos is dust. It's like can be interpreted or like he did not finish the sentence, so figure out by yourself and stuff like that. An example of the latter is where one relates that someone spoke about the listener in a manner which is neither derogatory nor harmful, right? But which may cause the listener to be disappointed with that individual. Okay, so here we go. Disappointed. Yeah, I thought some things, for example, I'm not sure if they're going to mention. So some like the classic example would be that there are people in town, and this family did not invite them. Maybe okay. New couple moved into apartments, right? And this couple did not invite them. Are they obligated to invite them? Absolutely not. It's not like there is a mitzvah. There is no such a mitzvah. Mitzvah is when somebody has no place to live, no place to eat, and that's it. Without you, they're going to get hungry and be homeless. Then it is a mitzvah. But otherwise, if you just invite them because you're neighbors, it's like there is no mitzvah. Actual, right? Meaning no mitzvah invited guests, basically. Okay, so if somebody said that I did not invite guests, other person, how could he do that? Why wouldn't he do it and stuff like that? So as we said, there is no avera by not doing that, but it could be viewed as derogatory and disappointed, right? The classic example of this where HaShem spoke critically of Abraham of Sarah, that having expressed the incredulity upon hearing the angel disguised as a wafer say that she would bear a child, right? Hashem said, why did Sarah laugh to say, shall I turn bear, shall I in truth bear a child, though I'm aged, right? This is Bereshit 18:13. In fact, Sarah had said, and my husband is old, as we know, right? Talmud Yerushalmi, Pei 1:1, say that to repeat such a statement would be speak avak Hilchos, right? So meaning that's why Hashem changed the language. Now to say that a man is 99 years old is neither derogatory nor damaging. I mean, he's 99 years old. He cannot have children. So what is so derogatory? It's normal. I mean. Would somebody at this age or I don't know, 80 years old would get embarrassed or offended if he cannot have children? Actually, maybe because of the huge ego. However, it is a bit discomforting for a person in advanced age to hear that his spouse speaks of him as old man. Okay, therefore, the report such a remark is speak avak Hilchos. That's why Hashem had to change this around. Okay. So we stop here. Okay, so Hilchos Teshuvah. So we're at the end of the chapter 8. Very interesting chapter, of course. There's all of them. So let's see. Chapter 8, Halachah 7, page 706. And it says, one second, let me see. Hold on to this Halachah. Okay. It says how very much David desired his life in the world to come. He exclaimed in Psalm 27:13, had I not believed that I would see the goodness of God in the land of the living. Okay. The sages of the previous generations have already informed us that man does not have the potential to appreciate the good in the world to come. In a full sense, nor can anyone know its greatness, beauty, and power except God alone. all of the beneficence which the prophets promise Israel in their visions are only physical concerns which Israel will appreciate in the messianic age, when the dominion of the world will return to Israel. However, the good of the life of the world to come has no comparison or likeness. So all of this compares that sheep is going to lay down like on a pasture with a lion, with a wolf. They're going to eat grass together. All of these beautiful things. It's only about messianic time. It has nothing to do with what Rambam is calling world to come, meaning Gan Eden. Right? No comparison, no likeness. Nor was it described by the prophets at all. Why? Because it is impossible to describe it. So that's one of the reasons that most people know exactly zero about it, exactly zero, or even less than zero, and or other people have like a salad in their head, right, between world of Mashiach, time of Mashiach, and Gan Eden. Okay. Okay. So why did not prophet did not describe it? Less such a description with such a they diminish it. So since it is it's not describable, you're trying to use words, and guess what? You can use spoiled. This was implied by Yeshayahu 64:3 statement. No eye has ever seen, O God, except for you, what you will do for those who wait for you. There is the good which was not perceived by the vision of a prophet and is perceived by God alone. This was created by God for those who wait for Him, meaning for HaShem. The sages declared, all the prophets only prophesied about messianic age. However, regarding the world to come, no eye has ever seen it, or God, except for you. Okay. Of course, we have all of these bits and pieces, like from the Gemara, but no real picture. Of course, why? As exactly as the Rambam says. Okay, so let's do from the beginning with all of the commentary and try to explain. So number 7 from the beginning. How very much did David desire life in the world to come? He explained, I had not believed that I would see the goodness of God in the land of living. Meaning, David is saying that just the thought that I'm going to inherit this world to come, so help me to go through all of these struggles and to remain righteous. Commentary. Talmud Brachas 4a comments on this verse. David told God, I trust that in the future you will give generous reward to the righteous, but I do not know if I'll be included among them. So it's very interesting. So David was not sure, and he was, as our sages say, Halachah is always like David Hamelach, right? But many people today, they keep exactly zero, or even do a little opposite than zero. And I'm sure they get the place next to David, maybe next to Rabbi. Very interesting. The sages of the previous generations have already informed us that man does not have potential to appreciate the good of the world to come in a full sense, nor can anyone know its greatness. Sages of previous generations. Most commentary maintain that Rambam is referring to the passage from Brachas, which is quoted at the conclusion of Halachah. Okay, right. So one more time. Does not have potential to appreciate the goodness of the world to come in a full sense, for nor can anyone know its greatness, beauty, and power except God alone. Okay, power. As explained in the previous Halachah, the very nature of material reality prevents us from gaining a complete and actual awareness of the spiritual concept. Thus, man cannot conceive conceive of the world to come. Cannot conceive of the world to come. Okay. So that's that. So let's see. So it was power except for God alone. So let's see. God knows all of his creations, of course, both physical and spiritual. And thus, he appreciates the nature of the world to come. Okay. Appreciate means that he knows. That's what it means. Okay, continue. All the beneficence which the prophets promised Israel in their vision are only physical concerns which Israel will appreciate in messianic age, when dominion over the world will return to Israel. So let's read the commentary, and we're going to explain what does it mean. The dominion of the world is going to return to Israel. 60. The prophetic vision do not refer to ultimate reward of the world to come, but rather to messianic age, when Israel will be granted dominion over the Gentile nations, and an age of peace and knowledge will begin. See chapter 9. So I mean, next chapter, Halachah 2, Hilchot Melachim, chapters 11 and 12. So it's the Rambam there talking about messianic times. Halachah. Halachah, it's of course Mashiach is a king, so it's in that department. Okay. So meaning what? That all this nation are going to leave us alone. All of the wicked people, all the wicked Gentiles, together with wicked Jews, are going to perish. It's going to be different people. So people, especially Gentiles, who wanted all their life to be righteous, and they were prevented from their governments, from neighbors, from peer pressure. So now they would be able to come and join the Jews and learn from the Jews, right? And all these people, like governments, leave the Israel alone. I'm not sure if Jews would want to rule the whole world. I mean, why would you need that? I mean, let them govern themselves, right? We don't need that. However, the whole world is it's going to be a very small place. I mean, many people are not going to be there. Okay, so anyway, however, the good of the life of the world to come has no comparison or likeness. So Rambam said, all of the good things in a physical sense that our prophets described, that's only in my messianic time. This life in the world to come, meaning in the Gan Eden, no comparison like this. So there is nothing to compare to. So as we said before, we can only imagine things that and concept that and work them in our head that we can some grasp of it in some likeness, at least like remote likeness. Like for example, I don't know, the first thought that came to my mind about the bird. Like so they saw at the bird all of the other winged creature, and then they created like helicopter, like a plane. You understand? So at least they had some idea to start with, right? So it has to have wings, and they have to hold them, and all these beautiful things. Okay. Nor likeness. So there is no comparison, no likeness in this world. Nor was it described by the prophets, lest with such a description they diminish it. Right? 61 commentary. Any praise that a mortal man would use describe the world to come would describe the spiritual concept in material terms. That's it. That's because why? Not because we're such a lowly people, but that's the only thing we know, material things, right? And thus serve the inadequate description of the ultimate good, right? When we started this chapter, we said that in the world to come there is no physicality. So how can you describe the world without physicality, full of pleasure, in a physical concept? So that's what Rambam is talking about. Continue. This was implied by Yeshayahu 64:3 statement no eyes has ever seen it. Oh God, except for you, what you will do for those who wait for you, right? So person have to wait for HaShem, and sometimes things are not going according to his or her plan. Okay, we have to be patient, and HaShem is going to deliver whatever he promised. It's not time yet. It's not time yet. Like I give example. So today I had an appointment with somebody. Somebody had to come to my house, and he said, no, I'm going to be there. What time? 11. Okay, 11 o'clock. So 10:40, I texted the person. I said, are we good at 11? They're still coming, and there's no response. Okay, no response. So at 11:20, I gave up. So these guys, I was about like to leave a message, but I have other things to do. So if you don't want to come, you cannot come. Just let me know. So 11:30, he called and he said, I got into car accident, and the voice was shaking. He said they had to tow away my car. So you see, sometimes you have to be a little patient, right? And not don't jump to conclusion. HaShem doesn't love me. He's angry with me, this and that. You just work on yourself, be patient, and he's going to show you the truth. So what does it mean? There is the good which was perceived by the vision of the prophet and perceived by God alone. This was created by God for those who wait for him. Okay, as we said, it is to be their reward for fulfilling the Torah and Mitzvot as he desired. It's beautiful. So all of the people who are going to go to that place that HaShem prepared for them. So I have to read it again. It is to their reward to fulfill for fulfillment of the Torah and Mitzvah as he desired. So many people like to fulfill the mitzvahs as they desire, when they desire. And one of the people, and he's first joined the class, not this class, another class, and the person said that the Halachah it's too dry. I like to learn Musa. I like to work on myself. I say, okay, you learn Musa, but when are you going to work on yourself? Like you work on your laziness, but are you going to apply to do mitzvah, or just still continue working on your laziness? So that's the problem. So he said that the Halachah is too dry, right? But Halachah is to do mitzvah, and mitzvahs as he desired, not as so in order to know what HaShem desires, you have to know, right? How do you know? You read Shulchan Aruch, read Rambam, you know what he desires and how he desires, in all of the details. Like continue. The sage is declared in Bracha story for Bis and head in 99a. Okay, declared. All the prophets only prophesied about the messianic age. However, regarding the world to come, no eye has ever seen it, or God, except for you. Okay, so let's see the commentary. There is a difficulty with Rambam quotation of the statement. The Talmud explicitly states that this statement conflicts with that of Shmuel. Okay. There is no difference between the present age and messianic era, except the emancipation from the subjugation to the Gentile kingdoms. So that's one of the opinions that is brought down in that Rambam, right? So Rambam was aware of it. It's that's not how most people would who waste their time in learning about the messianic age instead of learning the proper blessing on the soup, right? To live to messianic age. So they expect it's like a fairy tale land, right? And Rav Shmuel said no, there is no difference. So one more time, there is no difference between present age and messianic era, except with emancipation from subjugation of the Gentile kingdom. That's it. He said it's the only difference. Okay, continue. The messianic prophecies present a change in the nature of the world and the introduction of the miraculous order, and runs contrary to the Shmuel's opinion, which maintains that in messianic era the nature order of the world will not change. So he said will not change, but we have other sources that it will change, right? So let's see. Thus, the question arises in Hilchos Melachim 12:2, and in following chapter, Halachah 2, meaning in 9, right? Rambam quotes Shmuel's statement as Halachah. Very interesting. So Rambam said it's not going to change. How can the Rambam quote two conflicting statements and establish them both as binding Halachah? Right? So here he said that the Israel is going to dominate on the Gentile nations. At least they're going to leave us alone. And here Shmuel said no, they're only going to give us alone, and all the rest of the life is the same. Okay, so let's see. Like the Lechem Mishnah explains that though the Rambam quotes Shmuel's words, he interprets them differently. Here we go. Shmuel maintains that there will be no change whatsoever between the present age and messianic age, except for the distribution of the power between Israel and the nations. In a contrast, Rambam maintains that there will be a change between the two periods. In messianic age, the prophet's promises will be fulfilled, and the age of the peace and knowledge will begin. So it's not only like peace, but the knowledge, meaning the whole world would be Torah, and Gentiles are going to come to the Jews and ask them to teach them Torah. Like all of these anti-Semites are not going to live through this, but all others that were like decent people, right? There are many decent people. Okay. We'll begin. Nevertheless, as he explains in the Hilchos Melachim, chapter 12, the fulfillment of messianic prophecies will not represent the fundamental change of the nature of the world. Okay. All of the prophecies that appears to imply such a change must be interpreted as metaphors. That's it. Metaphors. For example, the prophecy in Yeshayahu 11:6, a wolf will dwell with a lamb, should not be interpreted to mean that the wolves will change their prey nature. Right? Rather, the prophecy is a metaphor describing how Gentile nation, the wolves, will dwell in peace with Israel, the lamb. So also the notes to conclusion chapter 9. I mean, we're going to get to. So I mean, but most of the people quote this idea that it's not the idea. The verse, the wolf will dwell with the lamb, like straightforward. That's what we're going to be, which means the change of the nature, right? But Rambam said no, it's metaphor. It's nation of Israel is compared to the sheep, to a sheep, right? And all other nations to 70 wolves. And HaShem said, look, all of the 70 wolves are trying to destroy you all of these years, all of the generations. And who are you? You're not a lion. You're nothing. You're little sheep, right? Any wolf can come and kill you, basically. And guess what? Why didn't kill you so far? Like why do we not care so much about weapons, all of these things? Because weapons are not going to help us. HaShem is going to help. Yeah. So when the spiritual, when the physical danger arrives, so you have to get spiritual, more spiritual. Why? To get HaShem's protection. You always have to get and pray for HaShem's protection, but especially in a dangerous time. Right? It's not the weapons, it's not the knives or guns, and then we are going to help you. 64. Oh, okay, it was 64, so we finished that. So let's start. Unless you have any questions, we can go to Halachah number 8. Okay, let's go to Halachah number 8. The sages did not use the expression "the world to come" with the intention of implying that the realm would not exist at present, or that the present realm will be destroyed and then the realm will come into being. Okay, the matter is not so. Rather, the world to come exists in the present, as implied in Psalms 31:20. How great is the good? how great is good, right? That you have hidden, which you have made. It is only called the world to come because that life comes to a man after life in this world. So world to come, it's not like for all of the generations. No, it is a world to come for you. You're living here in this world. After 140 person passes, and he goes in and gets the world to come. Beezrat HaShem, in which we exist. As souls clothed in the bodies, right? In this world, souls clothed in the body. It is the realm of material existence that is presented to all men at first. Okay, so let's see. So let's do from the beginning with all the commentaries. Beautiful commentaries. I love these commentaries. They clarify many things. You read Rambam and you think that you understand because it's clear, but then they add a different twist, like depthness to his statements. I mean, it's not because their statements are not deep. They're very deep. It's for us. We need for simple people. We need little more explanations. Okay, so let's see. From the beginning, 8. The sages did not use the expression "the world to come" with intention of implying that the realm does not exist at present. So meaning that Gan Eden is not exist and it's going to be get created. That's what Rambam means. Okay, Rambam seeks to clarify that the world to come will not come into being only in the future, right? So it is already there, as we said, or that the present realm will be destroyed, and then that realm will come into the being, right? So this world is going to destroy, and that pleasurable place is going to get built, and all of the people at Tzaddikim is going to sit around the Shechina and point the fingers. So it's not that, right? So that place exists. Commentator. The experience of the world to come does not require nullification of this world. So of course, all of these people who passed Moshe Rabbeinu, all of the other tzaddikim, from that time until now, they end there. Exactly. So this world exists, and that world exists, and they exist in parallel. No contradiction. The matter is not so. Rather, the world to come exists and is present, as implied by Psalms 31:20. Okay, in the present. We should not think that the world to come does not exist because we cannot perceive it. There are various levels of existence. On a plane of existence, this transcends ours. The spiritual truth of the world to come exists as actual reality. So just because we cannot comprehend it and we're not aware of it, we cannot sense it in any way, so it does not mean that that world does not exist. It does exist. Okay. 67. As implied in Psalms 31:20, how great is the good that you have hidden, which you have made. Commentary. The past tense, meaning have made, meaning in the past tense, right? The past tense is used implying that the world to come was already made and hidden by God, that it exists and it exists in presence, albeit on a different different place of existence than material reality we know. So we know material reality, we know the planets around that, and this the world to come in its different in a different place. 68. Continue. It is only called the world to come. The term is allowed, which allows for this misconception. So that it's going to come, right? Because that life comes to a man after the life in this world. So I mean that's brilliant explanation, right? So it's similarly the Medrash Tanhuma, Vaikrat 10 explains that the term "the world to come" is appropriate only in regard to a man and not God. Okay, of course. So HaShem in all the worlds, in all the time, right? But for us, for simple people, after a person lived life in this world, he goes, Beezrat HaShem, to the world to come. it is only called the world to come because that life comes to a man after life in this world, in which we exist as soul clothed in bodies. 71. For it is our service in this world, which allows us to merit the place in the world to come. Okay. Our service in this world. It is a realm of material existence that is presented to all men at first. Okay, so first we presented with this world, material existence, and then if we merit, we go to the world to come. Commented. To enable them to earn the place in the world to come, the Ravat object to this Halachah. Statement that appears that Rambam denies the statement Sanhedrin 97a, that there will be only 6 millennia to the existence of the present state of our world. Okay, I'm not sure I don't think that's what Rambam means, but okay. As above, the case of Mishnah explained that the difference between the two only semantic, right? The Ravat interprets the world to come as the world of resurrection. Hence, he emphasizes how the nature of existence will change. The Rambam does not need to make such a distinction, for he refers to the world to come as the spiritual world of the souls. The Egeret Techai Hamesim, chapter 4, the Rambam writes that even the souls which are resurrected will die. Okay. In a contrast to the world to come, will remain eternal spiritual reality. That's a beautiful statement, last statement. So what is so beautiful about it? So after this 6,000 years, like this world, they say it's going to 7,000. It's like a Shabbos, and in messianic age. And after that, the world would be like destroyed. But commentators say, okay, the world would be destroyed, but the world to come is not going to get destroyed. So we finished chapter 8, and we got to chapter 9. That is huge halachah, very, very long. So I guess we start, and I don't think we're going to finish tonight. That's simply too much, but let's start. So let's read the whole halachah. The question arises, chapter 9, halachah 1. The question arises, as explained, the reward for the mitzvahs, and the good which we will merit, if we observe the path of God, is prescribed by the Torah, is the world to come. As Dvarim 2:7 states, so that good will be granted to you, and you will live long. Also, the retribution which exacted from the wicked, who abandoned the path of righteousness prescribed by the Torah, is chorus. As Bamidbar 15:31 states, this soul shall surely be cut off. So chorus meaning cut, surely cut off, so meaning, as we explained before, cut from this world and cut from the world to come. His sin shall remain upon him, right? So, and his sin shall remain upon him, as we explained before, meaning that the punishment of this person is going to be forever and ever and ever. How we do know? We just said how we do know, and from previous chapter. If so, what is the meaning of the statements made throughout the entire Torah? If you observe the Torah's laws, you will acquire such and such. If you do not observe Torah's law, such and such will happen to you. All of the benefits and difficulties that are promised are matters of the material world, right? For example, plenty and famine, war and peace, sovereignty over the other nations, or a humble national standing, the settlement of the land of Israel or exile, excess in one's deeds or loss, and all other points mentioned in the covenant, right? So in all the covenant, meaning in covenant, meaning in the Chumash, right? So all of the things said in Chumash is a physical things. All of the blessings only in this world, right? All of the beautiful things that we read right before Havdalah, right on in a Marif for for Motzei Shabbos, right? So we read all the beautiful blessings, right, from the whole Tanakh. Okay, continue. So, but all of the beautiful blessings, they connected to this world. Nothing about the world to come. In resolution, it must be stated that all these statements are true. They have been realized in the past and will be realized in the future. When we fulfill all the mitzvot in the Torah, we will acquire all of the benefits of this world. Conversely, we will, when we transgress them, the evil written in the Torah will occur. So, that's HaShem, as Rabbi and Shlit always say, HaShem was very serious when he wrote all of these punishments, and of course, very serious when he wrote all of these words. Meaning, he's going to keep his word. Some people think that he's joking. He's not. Nevertheless, those benefits are not the ultimate reward for the mitzvahs, right? As we say, that's what we say in the morning. So for some mitzvahs, we get a huge reward here, but the main portion of the world in the world to come, right? That's what we say in the morning. Nor are those evil ultimate retribution to be exacted from someone who transgress all of the mitzvahs. So all the bad things, it's not only beginning of the punishment, right? Or this the person is going to suffer in this world, whatever he's going to suffer, but the main punishment is in the world to come. Continue. It's very long. Rather, the resolution of the matter is as follows: God gave us Torah, which is tree of life. Whoever fulfills what is written within it and comprehends it with complete and proper knowledge will merit the life in the world to come. So that's exactly what we do. So we read the Torah. So this is what HaShem wants from us in all of our classes, and we try to comprehend and try to go line by line, try to explain, try to give examples to understand what with proper knowledge, as Rambam said, what HaShem wants from us, right? Why, right? Why? It's not, I don't want to say why, but and it's going to bring a person a merit in life in the world to come, no more, no less. A person merits a portion in the world to come according to the magnitude of his deeds and the extent of his knowledge. So, but a person who has no knowledge, how can he do good? How does he know what is good, what is bad? I mean, according to him, maybe it's fantastic, but according to HaShem, it's absolutely disgusting. In addition, we are promised by the Torah that if we fulfill it with a joy and good spirit and meditate on its wisdom at all times, God will remove all of the obstacles which prevents us from fulfilling it. For example, sickness, war, famine, and the like. So it does not mean that there are going to be no war, but these righteous people are going to survive this war. Similarly, He will grant us with all of the good, which will reinforce the performance of the Torah, such as plenty, peace. So I mean, you cannot be sick or struggle and try to. I mean, if you try to feed your family and I don't know, and learn Torah, 9 hours a day, right? So it's very difficult, very, very difficult, right? So there's like you show HaShem, that's what I want to do, and HaShem is going to help you. There's HaShem, most likely. Maybe yes, no. There is no, of course, there is no guarantee, but at least give him the reason to help you, right? Such as plenty, peace, and abundance in silver and gold, in order that we not be involved throughout all our days in the matters required by body, but rather will sit unburdened and thus have opportunity to study wisdom and perform mitzvahs in order that we will merit the life in the world to come. So a Jew does not need a lot of gold and silver or other things, just a little comfortable life that you can pay for your rent, you can pay for your food, you can absorb the mitzvahs, and basically don't, as Rambam says very clearly, don't get yourself too much involved in this world. Let other people work. Okay, let them be rich and super duper rich, but you serve HaShem. That's not our purpose in life, to get rich or like live in luxuries. Okay. This principle is expressed by the Torah. After Dvarim 6 verses 11 and 12 promises us all of the benefits of this world. It concludes in verse 25, and charity will remain for us if we take care to perform all of these commandments. So Torah is a very, very particular. HaShem is very particular many times throughout the statement to say all of these commandments, not some of it, not whatever we like, not whatever we're up to. Like people tell me they on this level, on that level. I mean, they make all these levels in their head, and I think it's my personal opinion, and that's what I try to explain them. That when you create the levels in your head, so you prevent yourself from growing spiritually. That's your own enemy, right? Similarly, the Torah has informed us that if we constantly abandon the Torah and become obsessed with fleeting, temporal vanities, in a manner similar as stated in Torah 2:15, Yeshurun became fat and rebelled. So Yeshurun, it should be straightforward, like the nation of Israel, but became fat, meaning have too much money, and money leads to boredom and lewdness, right? That's in Avodah Zarah. They needed some entertainment. That's scary. And then true judge will remove from all the benefit of this world, which reinforce their rebellion. So that's all this money, all this extra food, all this extra wine brought them to this stage. Guess what? So I'm going to remove money from them. So now they're going to suffer. Why? Because the money was a cause of them to become like that. Those who abandon the Torah will, those who abandon the Torah, one second, those who abandon the Torah, he will bring upon them all of the evils which prevent them from acquiring a portion in the world to come, so that they will be destroyed in their wickedness. No more, no less. 23. Oh, no, we're not going to read the commentary at this point. So let me just finish reading and we're going to stop. This was implied by the Torah statement, Dvarim 28, verses 47-48. Because you did not serve God, your Lord, with happiness, you will serve your enemies whom God sent against you. So it's, I think it's maybe the one of the scariest verses in the Torah, because we did not serve HaShem in happiness. He said, okay, you're going to serve your enemies again. You didn't like my solitude. It was too hard for you to get up in the morning to say the blessing, to learn what blessing to say. That's for sure, but it's very scary, I think. It's not like we did not know, we did, but without happiness. And thus these blessings and curses can be interpreted as follows. If you serve God with happiness and observe His way, not your way, His way, He will grant you these blessings and remove these curses from you, in order that you may be free to gain wisdom from the Torah and involve yourself in it, so that you will merit the life in the world to come. No more, no less. So, actually, you know what? Let me just read it quickly and we're going to explain and continue. Thus, the blessing and the curses can be interpreted as follows. If you serve God with happiness and observe His ways, right? Whatever HaShem send you ways, so be happy, right? He will grant you these blessings and remove these curses from you, in order that you may be free to gain wisdom from the Torah, involve yourself in it, so that you will merit the life in the world to come. So say, HaShem, everything I want to do, just learn your Torah. I don't want to get involved in this world. So same like a little parnasa, whatever, the minimum of the minimum. Whatever you think is good for me, so I'm going to live on that. Okay. Good will be granted you in a world that entirely good, and you will live long in the world that endlessly long, the world to come. Thus, you will merit the two worlds: the good life in this world, which in turn will bring you to the life in the world to come. For if person will not acquire the wisdom in this world and does not possess good deeds, with what he will merit a portion of the world to come. Like some people think that just because they give tzedakah to the wrong places, they're going to get some. No, they get exactly zero. Right? Thus, Kehelis 9:10 states, there is no work, no accounting, no knowledge, no wisdom in a grave. So everything you can learn and get knowledge and wisdom only here, as we learned in the previous chapter. So you take this wisdom and you go to the world to come, and then you can develop, you can build up on that wisdom and all the things that we do not understand in this world. The sages are going to explain us in the world to come, but you have to come with wisdom. I mean, without wisdom, without Torah knowledge, how can you be a righteous person, even to go there in the first place? Okay, continue. Conversely, if you have abandoned God and become obsessed with food, drink, lewdness, and the like, he will bring all these curses upon you and remove all of the blessing until you will conclude all your days in confusion and fear. You will not have you will not have a free heart to or a complete body to fulfill the mitzvot in order to forfeit the life in the world to come. So HaShem is not going to allow that. Thus, he will forfeit two worlds. So the person has v'shalom, he's going to, because of his stupidity, right? He's going to lose two worlds, forfeit two worlds. For when a person is occupied in this world with sickness, war, and hunger, he cannot involve himself in either wisdom or mitzvahs. Like a person is always hungry. How can he do mitzvahs? I mean, it's very scary, but some people, yeah, they hungry. Wisdom of mitzvahs, which allow him to merit the life in the world to come. So that's, believe it or not, I think it's the longest halachah that we learned so far. Maybe we start a little, but because even in one class we're not going to finish. In the whole class we're not going to finish. So let's start a little and then continue next time. So from the beginning, as it's commentary, a question arises, as explained the reward for the mitzvahs, commentary. The phrase is borrowed from the Turkey Ovas 2:16, not Rambam interpretation of that Mishnah. Okay. Question arises, explained in the reward of Torah and mitzvahs, and the good which we will merit if we observe the path of God as prescribed by the Torah in the world to come, as Varim 2:7 states. So good will be granted to you, and you will live long. Commentary. Halachah 1 of the previous chapter explained the verse referring to the world to come, meaning long, meaning because it, as we explained, just to remind us, in the previous chapter, we said, Rambam said it could not, like logically, just use your logic. Right? It cannot mean the life in this world, right? Because people die here. Live, so life, when somebody is dying, is not considered life. Also, the retribution which is exacted from the wicked who abandon the path of the righteousness, prescribed by the Torah as is chorus, right? Chorus, correct? As Numbers 15:31 states, this soul shall surely be cut off. his sins shall remain upon him. Number 3. As explained in the commentary to Halachas 1 and 5, previous chapter, Chorus is the ultimate, but no means the only punishment received by the soul. So that's what we explained last time, not last, maybe time before last, that soul that it's getting chorus, meaning that it's not going to get in the world to come and going to be in forever. That's what it means. So it has to go somewhere. Continue. If so, what is the meaning of the statement made throughout the entire Torah? If you observe Torah laws, you will acquire such and such. Commentary. For example, the second paragraph of the Shema, wherein 10 verses 12 through 15 relates. If you carefully pay heed to my commandments, I will grant the fall and the spring rains. You will have the ample harvest. You will eat and be satisfied. Similarly, many other passages throughout the Torah promise material blessing for its observance. Right. So what does it mean? That's what Rambam said. If you do not observe the Torah laws, such and such, you will such and such will happen to you. Commentary. For example, the above cited passage, wherein 10, verses 16 and 17 continues. Be careful lest your heart be tempted to go astray. God's anger will then be directed against you. He will lock up the heavens. The land will not bring forth its crops, and you will vanish from the land. Similarly, in many other instances, the Torah also threatens material catastrophes for the failure to observe Torah and Mitzvah. So material catastrophes in this world, of course. Okay. Continue. All of the benefits and difficulties that are promised are matters of this material world, as we said, right? In Chumash, right? Whatever we said, it's material. Maybe some statements, our sages explained homiletically, right? But straightforward meaning is in this world only. Okay. So one more time, all of the benefits and difficulties are promised matters of this material world. For example, plenty and famine, war and peace, sovereignty over the nations, or a humble nation standing. The statements of the land of Israel or exile, success in one's deeds or loss, and all potential points mentioned in the covenant. Number 6. So, I mean, from these statements, we see that Torah is talking about this world. Okay, so commentary. In Vayikra, chapter 26, and Dvarim, chapter 28, relates a series of blessings, which will receive for fulfillment of the mitzvahs and curses, which we will suffer if we ignore them. In conclusion, Dvarim 28, 69 states, these are the words of the covenant that God instructs Moshe to make with the Israelites, beside the covenant that was made with them at Horeb. Rashi interprets the covenant at Horeb as referring to the blessing and the curses mentioned in Vayikra. Okay, so let's maybe we finish this page at least. Okay, because there is too much for one time to read all of these pages. Okay, in the resolution, it must be stated that all those statements are true. They have been realized in the past and will be realized in the future. Commentary. The promises of success for fulfillment of the Torah and mitzvahs and disaster for their lack of observance will be fulfilled in both national history and the national history of the Jewish people as a whole and individual destiny of each particular Jew. That's scary. So as the whole nation and in each particular Jew. If a Jew does not observe, like may other do, but he doesn't, so he's getting what he deserves. In the future, these promises will continue to shape the face of our people. Scary. Continue. When we fulfill all the mitzvahs in the Torah, we'll acquire the benefit of this world. So it's not for free. That's not why we do the Torah mitzvahs, but Rambam says it's not for free. You do it and you get the blessing in this world. Perhaps the Rambam mentioned all the mitzvahs, in double quotes, expression all the mitzvahs, as allusion to the concept in Bracha 7a, Rosh Hashanah 16b, that the person who is not completely righteous is required to suffer difficulty in this world to absolve his sins. Okay. In a contrast, a completely righteous man prospers in this world as well. Okay. So if we don't prosper yet, so we know why. We have the things to work on. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Okay, continue. Nevertheless, those benefits are not the ultimate reward for the mitzvahs, nor are those evils ultimate retribution to be exacted from someone who transgresses all of the mitzvahs. Okay. So last commentary and we start. The Perky Ovas 4:2 teaches the reward for the mitzvah is a mitzvah, right? So we said we learned about it many times, right? How is it a reward? So it's like make me busy. I thought I am going to do this. I'm going to get free, relax. No, there is no relaxation. So you do this great mitzvah. Now you're presented with opportunity to do the next mitzvah. Among the interpretation of this statement is that ultimate reward for the mitzvah is not the benefit one receives in this world, but the spiritual connection established with God. That's the biggest benefit a person can get in this world, as Ramchal teaches in, I think it's even in the introduction. This will be revealed in the world to come. Right? All the benefits, all the pleasures. Okay, so we'll stop here. Because it's, I think it's the longest halachah. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
What specific time was Rambam talking about? Before year 6000 or after?
No. This is what we learned today has nothing to do with that calendar. We're talking about parallel world, that world of souls. From the beginning of the creation, when people die, they go to this Olam HaBa, the world of souls. I mean people. When I say people, the soul goes. The body stays here in this world, but the soul goes to Olam HaBa. So it always existed. I mean, from the creation, from the time of creation, HaShem created Olam HaBa.
But I mean, because Rambam say that the world will continue more or less the same in the messianic times.
No, it's a Shmuel said. So that's what Rambam said. More or less the same, but we know that the world is going to continue. He said after Mashiach comes, so for 1,000 years, so or more. Minimum 1,000 years, but maybe more. The world is going to continue, and Shmuel said that almost nothing is going to change. But most poskim do not. Most of our sages do not agree with that.
So because I understand that there is a pre-messianic era before years 6000, and other fully messianic time from year 6000 to
no. It's not necessary. Well, whenever HaShem is going to bring Mashiach, he's going to bring Mashiach, maybe even tomorrow, but even tonight. I don't know. Can he come at night? I'm not sure. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Maybe he has to come only during the day. I'm not sure. But no later than year 6000. It could be any year, but no later than 6000.
For example, what would be with the people having babies? Will they have after years?
No babies. That's according to Shmuel. It's going to be babies. but according to others, they're not going to be babies. So babies, why do we need baby? Right? So baby is a reincarnation of the soul. So, but messianic times, it's like cut-off time. That's it. We don't need no new babies needed. That's it. No more tests in the world. So one of the things that, as we learned, I think last time, what HaShem is going to do, he's going to slaughter the Eitz Hara, right? That's it. I said, no more Eitz Hara for you. So that's why people would be able to be like decent. Even decent people would have no struggle to be good. You understand? Some people they're trying to be good, they struggle. It's everyday fight with themselves. They have to overcome themselves to be like that because they have Eitz Hara. So we learned today a very interesting concept. When persons start complaining, when he start, this is difficult for me, this is difficult for me. So Rabbi Dessler said, I don't remember where he quoted from, that this person is opened the door for Eitz Hara. So, but if person said, I have nothing to complain about, well, what is it? Everything is perfect. So Eitz Hara cannot get in. But when person said, this is difficult, that is difficult, that's opening. And Eitz Hara is going to explore on these things. You understand? So, but so what I'm trying to say, I mean, it's not one of the points that I'm trying to say. So if there is no Eitz Hara, there is no test, there is no point for the babies. As I said, there's no point for reincarnation. That's why I would say all of the worst souls ever comes to be reincarnated now. Why is that? Because it's last chance. They failed all the chances before. It's like last chance. Go ahead.
But I heard somewhere that that at the beginning, because I make this distinction before year 6,000, closer to 6,000. I heard somewhere that at the beginning it will be some. It was like gradual extinction of the Yetzer Hara, not from one day to another.
Gradual extension. I mean, it could be gradual, but Talmud explains. Of course, it's a metaphoric that HaShem is himself is going to slaughter the wicked one, the Satan. So meaning that the people are not going to die any longer, but it could be only after the resurrection of the dead. You understand? So how long this process is going to take? I don't know. As Rambam say that Hilchas Melachim and the last, I think it last or one to the last halachas. So he said, I mean, how it's going to do, how it's going to be for sure, according to which opinion we do not know. So it's all speculations. Because why? Not because the sages did not know, they just were talking. No, it's not true. They knew, but it all depends on people, how people behave. You understand? So scenario can change. Of course, Hashem wants all of the best, nice and easy, but people push him to the opposite extreme. You understand?
So about the dominion over the Gentiles, because I the other day was listening to a Shiur about the monarchy of David, that in the ancient times, the Sanhedrin was able even to put a king to judgment, but what in the messianic?
I don't think no. I don't think you can put a king to judgment. You cannot even call a king to the witness. So why you cannot call the king to be a witness? Because all the witness has to stand, and the judge should sit, and everybody should stand. It cannot be the king is going to stand, and judges are going to sit, and they would be even scared to interrogate. You understand? To ask all of these questions. So I don't think you can judge the king.
But I mean that it was like several like division of power in the ancient times. So I want to know if in this final time will the King Mashiach have absolute power all the world to judge without the approbation of the Sanhedrin.
No. He's a king, so that the power of the king to be a king, to be like a ruler over the physical things, even though he would be very, very spiritual individual, right? But we have a Kohen Gadol, right, who is in charge of all of the things that are going on in the temple, and we're going to have some Sanhedrin to judge. So one person cannot judge. Yeah, you understand? That's why you need some Sanhedrin. Of course, kings can judge, and they did judge through all of the generations, but you need some Sanhedrin, all of these 71 sages.
But I hear that, for example, King Mashiach can pronounce certain letters related to the Tetragrammaton, and the Amalekite, for example, will be dead immediately.
Exactly. But those two separate things. You're talking about how he's going to conduct the war. So of course, that's. So you calling that a judgment? Okay, that's a judgment. When I call a judgment, when somebody, like two people cannot divide, I don't know, a cow or a car. Yeah. So they come to the judgment, to the court, and they decide your father died, and he gave already motorcycle, so you cannot get the full car, you get only, I don't know, 3/4 of the car, whatever, like one quarter of the car, of worth of the car, like something like that. But you're talking about the war, of course. He's going to fight with the name of HaShem. So that's why I said today we need all the weapons. We just have to be spiritual. We try to add the holiness to this world. You understand? That's the purpose of the Jew. As Rambam said today, that's not our purpose to get rich and get involved in work and politics and lawmaking, because it takes a lot of time. Like there is a concept of balabais. Who is a balabais? A working man. Okay, working man, he has to support his family, right? He's trying to learn Torah here and there. Of course, he has to take care of his family, kids and stuff like that. But many balabasim are not very knowledgeable, to put it mildly. You understand why? Because they don't have time. They have to take care of. They have to work so many hours. You understand? So wait a second. Why? How did we get to this balabais? I don't remember how did we get to them. Sorry.
But in the end, will this monarchy be absolutely global all over the world?
I mean, it's going to be on one hand. It's going to be, but why do we need to rule all these nations? You understand? That's as I just said. That was never a Jewish idea to rule all over the world. That's what the Gentiles say that we always want to do, and they still say. But that's not. I mean, the righteous Jews want to be left alone and sit and learn Torah and do mitzvot. That's it. You understand? And Gentiles are going to come and they're going to feed. They're going to bring us gifts and stuff like that to the Beis Hamikdash, to the Jewish nation, because out of their graciousness. You understand? After they realize what the Jewish nation is. So, but for us to control the world, to be in a government, to be in police, this and that, that's not a Jewish way of life. It's opposite. So all of the liberals, whatever they do in all of the countries, in the politics, in the government, that's not Jewish way. You understand?
So why then it's called a monarchy if maybe it's not going to be all over the world?
No. Monarchy meaning over the Jewish nation. The one nation. That's it.
So how will be the Gentiles will be ruled and in those times?
I mean, as we said, it's we're going to know when the time comes. But the way I understand, as they do rule now, let them rule themselves. Why do you need police? The whole world. You understand? They would be righteous, only righteous Gentile left, of course. all of the idol worshippers are going to perish. All of the Christians, all of the Buddhists, and all of the other garbage are going to perish, including these Muslims. Most of them are going to perish. And so there were not only righteous Gentiles are going to be left alone. Like they're decent people, in a sense. So they're going to make a government, decent governments from themselves. You understand? So let them take care of the business. I mean, they should learn the 7 laws and implement them. That's it. It's simple to say that's it, but it's a lot. But I don't want to minimize it. But they know what to do. Why should I get involved in other countries' business? I don't want to get involved in my neighborhood business. You understand? So needless to say, other countries.
So I think to this, can the Gentiles, a Gentile court is able to make a judgment and a sentence over the Jews if they are committing, for example, idol worship?
No. Jewish court can judge Gentile, but Gentile court cannot judge a Jew because it's most of the time it's against the Torah. But some cases, Gentiles prefer to be judged in the Jewish court. Because in many cases, sometimes they're going to get much lighter judgment than in their own court.
Yeah, but I mean, for example, that at least in the spiritual way, we can understand that Gentiles in some type of way, they can judge the Jews, for example, the Roman Empire.
Look, you're missing one important point. So when Mashiach comes, it's going to be in Gaza of the exile. So everybody is going to come to Israel. So all of the Jews are going to come to Israel. It's not like they're going to live around the world and now you have to go to court and the only court is available is not Jewish court. No, all of the Jews are going to live in Israel. So there is no reason why these Gentiles would judge us. You understand?
So I mean, in one scenario, if, for example, from all possible scenarios, in one scenario, the Jews is the worst part of the prophecy, if you will. They go fully to heresy, and then Gentile nation rise, and they say that we want to judge the Jews because they are not believing in HaShem.
Yeah.
Is this possible?
But that's what we've been going on for many, many years. What do you mean it's possible? That's what Christian claim. That's what Muslim claim. That we are not good people, and they taking over of our role as the chosen people. That's what it means possible. That's what they claim always. You understand? That's always their claim. But
finally,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Finally, I have another question. If we have time.
Yeah, go ahead. We have time. Go ahead.
Okay. So about the other worlds, did they have Mashiach figures in the previous world and they got destroyed?
The previous world, you mean this? What is it? 900 worlds?
Yeah, because in a Shiur somebody asked, what about the previous world if they reach to year 6000 and the cycle was similar to in every time to reach year 6000, 1000 year and then get destroyed. So I wonder if the previous world have Mashiach.
I'm not sure if people lived in those worlds. You're talking about 974 worlds, right? Before the creation of this world. That's what you mean, or not?
I'm not sure because I have this question from a Shiur and they were talking about Gog Magog and the previous worlds, physical worlds that they
the physical world before creating this world Hashem created 974 worlds, and he had to destroy them for whatever reason. A long story, and then he created this world. So if you were talking about those, I don't think there were people. I'm not sure 100%. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't think so.
So somebody asked more or less if they had a Mashiach, the previous world.
You see, since the way I see it, right? Since in the beginning it was like a lost case, Hashem saw it as a lost case, so he did not bother to create Mashiach, I think. Like logically, from the logic. But in this world, yeah. So messianic times were supposed to start from Adam Harishon, from him.
So maybe the previous world didn't have a Shabbos year like.
I'm not. I
1,000 years of peace.
I'm not sure. I don't want to say. I'm not sure.
Okay. So that was the last question.
Okay.
That's for all for today.
For tonight. Okay. Okay. So let's continue tomorrow. Beezrat HaShem. We're going to learn Halachas of Brachas. Right. Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.